I'm Kevin Abdulrahman. My guest today is Nitinn Miranni. We are recording? Okay.
We weren't recording before.
No. Just for sure.
Uncomfortable. So I addressed it.
You did address it.
Yeah. No,
It's like, f*** off already.
No. And so the minute I sat on the rack, I'm like, oh my god. I'm regretting it instantly.
It will read,
I'm gonna be vegan.
Nitinn Miranni was...
The damage is done. He said, effing. It's gonna get worse.
Today my guest shell shot shows.
Today my guest sells shells on the seashore.
Sells shoes, that's not what he does.
You look at it.
My guest today is a host, actor, and a well-recognized stand-up comedian. When I say well-recognized, I'm talking about the likes of legends like Eddie Griffin, asking him to personally open up a set for him. When I'm talking about well-recognized, I'm talking about him sharing stages with Bollywood royalties like Shah Rukh Khan. When I say well-recognized, I'm saying that my guest has opened up for the Tonight Show host, Trevor Noah, on multiple occasions. All that is great, but the reason that I actually have this guest here today is because he has an interesting way that he looks at life in, the way he observes life through a different lens. He shares that observation in an interesting perspective, and genuinely, he's a great human being. To say that I love this human for who he is and also his craft is an understatement. I saw him perform in the very early days of him being a stand-up comedian. So much did I like his work that I felt compelled at the end of the show to go up to him and say, "Well done, brother, I really loved your set." Now, if you know me, you know that I don't do this unless I genuinely like the person and truly admire the work they're doing. Today, my guest sells out shows all over the world. He's the first Indian stand-up comedian to perform inside the Eiffel Tower. Recently in Dubai, he performed to an audience of 5,000 plus people. He's been on many lists, in fact, countless lists, but I remember seeing him on the Ahlan Top 100 of Dubai. He is smart, he is witty, he is lovable. He is a friend that I wish I could spend more time with. His parents may have been concerned early on about the choice of his career, that people would laugh at him. Thankfully, they do. They laugh their assets off. Or as Marlon Wayans says, dude is funny. He's a king in his game. He is the creator of the brand Comic Sutra. He is much loved by myself and the people in Dubai, in actual fact by his global audience. This is How Do They Do It? I'm Kevin Abdulrahman. My guest today is Nitinn Miranni. Nitinn, bro.
Yay!
I appreciate you making the time, man.
Do I just take my Nobel Prize now? As wow, well done. Good
You've
to
done
see
a lot,
you,
man.
I know.
I truly
know.
admire your work.
Oh, thank you. I remember, the first show you were there. It was in a 2-star hotel in Dubai, and yeah, a lot of people came down to support me. So I remember you were sitting on the 4th or 5th row on the right side.
That much I don't remember, but you seem to have a memory that's far better than mine.
I do. That's what I do. But yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for.
I appreciate it.
For coming all the way together.
Well, man, have you ever stuffed up on stage?
Yeah, it happened last night.
I was going to say, tell us of a time that you stuffed up on stage, but...
Yeah, it happened last night. What happens is, so I was doing this gig for Maridal Futem, amazing people. I was doing it in City Center. They launched a new program called Share. And it happened, I planned something else, went up on stage, and then there were just children jumping around the stage. I said, ooh, this is going to be a little
I didn't plan for kids.
Different, and the kind of people I expected. And the thing is, it was a walking crowd.
Okay.
So they were there to see me, but they were walking
Distracted.
And shopping at the same time. So I just went up on stage, and in the first couple of seconds I knew, okay, it's going to be a little different. So I just went with the flow, and I think some people felt the first 2 minutes I was like trying to figure it out, and then I always believe that the comedy angels are always sitting and whispering in my ear. So I just decided to do some improv bits and just got the audience involved, and yeah, got out of it.
Good man.
Yeah.
The reason I ask is because very often when people look at, performers like yourself, or they look at anyone doing well in their field, they just assume that you don't stuff up. They just assume that everything goes well. Now the chances are people applauded and things were going good.
Yeah.
But take us through what goes through your mind when you stuff up.
So Kevin, it's funny thing, I read this somewhere and I'll share it with you. It takes, the quote is, it takes many years to become an overnight success.
100, man.
So I have a lot of respect. You'll never ever, I made a promise to myself, you'll never ever see me looking at somebody and saying, oh man, he doesn't deserve it. Like even bad people deserve good things. So I don't think we're in a position to sort of, point fingers at anyone. Because every time you say this person is not deserving, there are 3 people behind you saying you don't deserve it too.
Yes, true.
So just, keep your conscience clear. But, talking about, sort of stuffing up on stage, I remember the first show I did, I was booked by the guy to be an opening act for an act he wasn't sure of.
Okay.
So he booked me and he was hoping that I would bomb so badly that no matter what the guy does after me, he's still better. Unfortunately for him, I killed that night. I did really well. And it sort of went forward. But I think the best thing that you can do on stage is to bomb. As an artist.
Why do you say that? Because this is counterintuitive for most people.
Yeah, because, honestly speaking, you need to learn. Okay, I call this exercise as going to the gym. So it's like you saying, okay, I'm going to go to the gym, work out, and have no pain. I have no sore muscles. I have nothing. So that's the same way. You have a comedy body.
Right.
The more you go to the gym, the more you train. You don't go to the gym thinking, oh, if I do this exercise, my leg's going to hurt. Leg days, it's going to hurt.
That's right.
You go ahead and do it because you know that after that pain is done, the results are going to be different.
That's true. You do it for the pain.
Absolutely. So that's exactly. So when you bomb, you do it for yourself, for your craft. The more you bomb, the better you get an understanding of what it is, how things should work, what you shouldn't do. We all are running behind, what we should do.
Yes.
I run behind what I shouldn't do. So once I'm done with ticking all those off, I'm automatically left with things to do.
Yes.
And that's, after 10 years of doing this now, I'm finding my comedy voice. I'm finding out what people like about what I do, what they don't like. Many a times I just, and I'm still working on this, being fearless as an individual.
Yes.
I just jump up on stage without a script and see how it goes.
Is that your recommendation for someone that wants to
Absolutely.
become a performer?
Absolutely, because what happens is, this is what comedy is about. Anybody can go up there with a script, with no disrespect to other comedians. But I know you got to deliver it in a certain way, but if you have a script ready, you're going to kill. But what if you don't? What if they don't laugh when they're supposed to?
Right.
That's when you become a comedian.
I must admit that when you said that, it made me think of an event where I was speaking, and what the organizer had decided to do was to actually bring in a comedian to work the crowd before having me as a motivational speaker, which I thought my job was to work the crowd, but this is how they organized it. They had a comedian coming from New York.
They had a motivator for the motivator.
They had the comedian come through, but unfortunately, because I think he came through with a script that was prepared for a New York audience, they weren't laughing. And then I felt super bad because as a motivational speaker, I like to believe that I'm quite serious with my delivery. Yet over the years, as I've refined it, there are funny moments that come organically.
Of course.
And every time we laughed, I kind of felt bad for the guy because I got more laughs compared to the comedian.
Ego. You have to keep your ego aside. There are a lot of comedians, sorry, I don't know if you can use language on the show, but a lot of people come up and say, oh, the audience was effed up.
Yeah.
That's not true. Never. So basically you're a chef.
Yes.
Okay, that's how life is. And that's how you as a performer. You're a chef. Your audience is allergic to seafood. You keep giving them sushi.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. You got to make sure that, and it's all about energy, man. If you have a genuine urge to make people laugh, and as comics, as presenters, we really become vulnerable out there. I start off with talking about my family, my life, my mom, my wife, me having anxiety issues. So from the word go, I'm naked in front of you.
Right.
Right. So if you are genuinely doing that, I'm bearing my soul, the audience feels it. But if you're going there saying that, here's my jokes, here's when you're supposed to laugh.
Laugh, damn it.
Yeah, so that's my understanding of things, that I've been blessed with consistency. Like, that's what I feel, that in all these years, I've been consistent. Okay, agreed. I've not gone where I'm supposed to, and I'm still working on it. But, and all credit goes to my wife, and she reminded me the other day that, you don't have to be so harsh on yourself, because you've been consistent. I'm around. I'm still around. 10 years later, I'm still around.
Yes.
There are people who just go like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
What next?
In the region, I can easily say that, from what I've seen, you're easily one of the most bankable.
Yeah.
Bankable
That's a good
names.
word. Bankable.
Yeah, one of the bankable
You had me
names
at bankable.
that brands seek for when they want someone. You're there.
And that's because I always say that you have to have a genuine urge to make people laugh. And you don't have to be a comedian to do that. Make an effort. Make an effort. You can't show up on stage with flip-flops and shorts and expect people. Make an effort, because people see you.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with relationships as well. If somebody, I highly recommend people to make an effort to dress well, feel good.
Yes.
Smell good.
Smell good. That's
Smell
right.
good.
Yeah.
Because it shows effort. It shows that somebody who can take an effort in themselves is not lazy.
Yes.
So if you want to be with a man or a woman, or you want to work with somebody, and you see that about that person, that person knows that, here, look, I made effort on myself. That means you're in good hands.
Absolutely.
They will then make effort on whatever situation you're in.
Get inspired.
Whether you're in Dubai for business or pleasure, the last thing you want to do is blow your budget on accommodation, which is why I recommend you check out our host venue partners, Rove Hotels. Beyond being price sensitive, what I love about Rove Hotels is the fact that they are a combination of cafe, culture, and just coolness. Even my guests, many of them, when they arrive before we record or after we finish recording the podcast, they actually comment. They go, wow, this place is cool. The vibe is amazing. And it is amazing. So if you're in Dubai for business or pleasure, I recommend you check out our host venue partners, Rove Hotels. This episode is brought to you by Dojo. Whether you're in business or new to business, you need 3 things: a good website, traffic, and being able to convert that traffic into paying customers. That's what Dojo does best. They're able to create for you a functional, state-of-the-art website, drive targeted traffic, and put in all the elements needed in order to convert that into paying customers. Isn't that what you want? Of course it is. Give the team at Dojo a call and see how they can help you increase your sales and profits. Tell them I sent you. Their website, mdojo.co. It makes me think of a thing you mentioned in the dialogue you had a couple of nights ago when I attended. You talked about intention.
Yes. Intention. I think intention and outcome. Most of the books, the holy books, have this word called niyat. Niyat, I don't know if it's the same niyat, in Arabic.
Yes. Yeah.
It means intention. That's all you need.
Yes.
That's actually all you need. If you have intention, you can speak beyond words. When you shake somebody's hand and you have a good intention to say, God bless you, man.
Yes. Like true.
You don't speak, you tap.
Yes.
That's intention.
Yes.
You don't have to say, man, take care, God bless you, is anything, call me. This one tap says
a lot.
A lot. So that, I think, if your intention is real, only a dead body wouldn't feel it. You have to just go there with good intention, and many a times the outcome is not the same.
Yes.
But having said that, you got to figure a way. And I always say this. I always say try. I never tell people, oh, this is what you have to do. Just try.
See what works for you.
Yeah, see what works for you. If you're happier being this person who has bad intentions, sure. Take your time. Have bad habits until they work for you. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
So I know people who have a bad habit of having, they say, oh, my ego, I have a big ego, it's a bad habit. I was like, yeah, but it's working for you. You do realize that your ego now is
It's what driving you.
made you successful, right? But then if your ego comes in the way and then pushes you to become somebody else, and it becomes a bad and a toxic thing where you feel that you need your ego to move ahead, that's when you're in trouble. So just make sure you sort of control, your intentions, and how you want to move ahead, good or bad. And it's absolutely okay to have bad intentions. Absolutely okay. Get it out.
Interesting.
Don't be this person, like I was telling you, I woke up the other day and, I'm in this space right now, spiritually, emotionally, again, thanks to my wife, I'm able to ask myself really, really, good questions where I have to put my ego aside. I would not be able to do that in 4 years back.
And you gave us a great example before we recorded.
I
touch on it.
Yeah, I woke up the other day and I was telling my wife, I said, I woke up the other day and I was in bed. And I asked myself, I said, Nitinn, are you a good guy? Or are you a good guy because you want people to think you're a good guy? Are you a nice guy, or are you just nice to people because you want them to say, oh, he's a nice guy?
And the two are so different.
Yeah, absolutely. And I spent a couple of minutes thinking about it, and I found out, which was beautiful, that I was the second one. For half of my life, I was the guy who was just nice to people because I wanted something in return. I wanted acceptance. I wanted people to like me. I just wanted people to hang with me. I just wanted people to say good things about me. I never hurt anybody in that, but I hurt myself.
Except for yourself, yeah.
I hurt myself. I became this people pleaser to the point where, I was not people anymore. I was just trying to please everybody, be in places where I didn't have to be, talking to people I didn't want to, and
draining.
It was really draining. I used to come back and go like, why am I so tough on myself, But at the same time, no, this is how it works, man, karma, you got to have good karma and all that stuff. That's not how it works. Today when you give money to a beggar, simple question, you give money to a beggar, it's for selfish reasons.
That's right.
Yeah?
That's right.
You give money to a beggar when you're like, okay, I'm going somewhere, I need a job or something. You do a good deed. Now, if the beggar pulls your hair or spits water in your face, you're not going to give that beggar money. So you see, your intention is different. You still want to get the job. The beggar is still the same. He's still poor, he still needs your help. But now you've decided that because your action will decide my intention. That's not how it works. Regardless of what the person does, you just go ahead and do it, man. Because if people start working the same way with you, then you'd be in trouble. Because then you have to really be this perfect, person who says the right things, does the right things, and it doesn't exist.
And if
anymore.
you're doing it to elicit a certain kind of response, then you'll be disappointed the moment that response is different.
Yeah, exactly. So like I say that. So you want to find out who you are, do something nice to somebody who is mean to you.
Yeah.
And then when they're mean to you and it's not being reciprocated and it comes back in a different way, that's who you are.
Yes.
That's who you are. Even when you go out for dates or marriages, you're just putting the best you out there for an interview.
Yeah.
So like I told you, the Facebook Live is the best example.
Yeah.
The few minutes before you realize that you're live, that's you. The way you look, the confusion, the anxiety, the anxiousness.
What's going on?
Just stupid. You're just digging your nose. That's you. That's you. And it's so beautiful. So beautiful, So I purposely keep it on for some time. I look at, and I use it as a mirror. I was like, oh, okay. This is how stupid I look. This is who I am. This is me. This is the child. Life goes on. Hey guys, hey, this is Nitinn Miranni. Nice to meet you.
That's right.
Yeah, but before that, I'm like, oh shit, how do I switch this on? That's who we are. So half of us in this world are just asking that question.
Yeah.
How do we switch it on? And that's who we are. So if you embrace that, then together we're just, we're the same.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Get inspired.
One of the questions that I get frequently asked is, Kev, How can I increase my motivation? We see great individuals, we see achievers, like many of the guests that I'm bringing on the show. They have the energy, they do so much, they're in a state of flow. How do they do it? Well, my team and I have released an article which I've made available on kevinabdulrahman.org/blog, the ultimate biohacking guide to increasing motivation. Or you can simply Google Kevin Increase Motivation and the article should pop up right at the top. It's absolutely free. Read it, and most important of all, take the bits and pieces that are relevant to you and apply it into your life to increase your motivation. I hope you find the article of value. If you do, feel free to leave your comments and also share it with your circle of friends. Again, you can Google it, Kevin Increase Motivation. It will be the first link that pops up, or on my website, kevinabdulrahman.org/blog. You having said that, or recently having asked that question, how have you evolved as a comedian? But perhaps to answer that question of, are you nice to elicit a certain response from people, or are you actually genuinely a nice guy?
So what has worked for me is the fact that it became second nature. Being nice to somebody is not a novelty. It's called manners.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes, of course. And you don't have to be, but I think it's a better way to do things. I think this the world we live in right now needs a lot of compassion, needs a lot of understanding, needs a lot of just openness and inclusiveness.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. Like I meet people right now who I'm working with, and I mean, I did a gig a couple of months back, and I was going through a bit of a tough period, and this gig came to me like a miracle. And this guy called me up, and it's so amazing that he tells me, and of course I don't remember this, right? Apparently I was nice to him. I must have, just I don't know. I don't remember. I must have said something nice, because I never shy off when it comes to complimenting people.
Yes.
If I have to say something positive, I'm going to say it.
Yes.
I'm going to say it and walk away. You don't need to reply. So I must have said something nice to him and stuff.
On a subconscious level.
On a very
That's
subconscious
who you are.
level. Yeah, because you know what? I also believe that I'm giving back what I've got.
Yes.
As a comic, we are gifted.
Yes.
But it's like it's our gift, but it's to be given away. It's just we're just holding on to the gift, and we'll just keep passing off. So this guy called me up and he says, remember, I did this thing, and we were in Jitex. I was working in a stall. You were hosting a show, and then I came up to you, gave me advice and all that stuff, and I was like, okay. He's like, yeah. So anyway, now I'm the CEO of this company, and I'm gonna book you for a gig because I promised you. Then, and I was like, yeah, sure, man. So he's like, yeah, just whatever money you want, just put it in the email and consider it done. And I was just.
And it came about from being nice.
Yeah.
Or you just being genuine.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently. That's all you need. That's actually all you need.
But would you say that the difference now that you, as a human who's evolved,
who's still evolving, yes.
who's still evolving, who's self-aware and asking questions?
Yeah.
I would like to ask you when you started becoming self-aware, but on this topic of being nice or being kind or being genuine with people. You say you don't have to be that person all the time.
Of course not. Of course not.
Because we all have bad days.
Please do. Please do. You're not going to. Life is an inbox. You will have spam.
Well said. Well said.
You will have spam. No matter how professional you are, you will have spam, which will not be related to you. Now the only thing is, consider it as spam, and move on. Delete it regularly. If the spam is not working, because sometimes what happens is, even in this. Your proper emails go into spam.
Yes.
So it's good to check spam once in a while and understand, okay, this is not good for me. This goes into the inbox. So you got to consider life as an email, as an inbox. So you understand, okay, let me sort it out. This goes into drafts. This is spam. This goes into trash. So you need to understand that. And people are so hard on themselves. But no, man, I got to be nice. And it's just unfortunately. From the society we come in, our society is very, very heavy on certain boxes you have to tick. So success means you're a doctor. Success means that you have a bank job. Success means that you you do a wedding at the Yas Marina.
That's right.
And do all 3 functions. Success means calling Craig David for a wedding. Success is you driving a certain car or getting the first pair of Yeezys. Yeah, but I always say success is like a t-shirt. It doesn't cover the whole thing. Your arms are still, there are places
Hanging out, yeah.
Yeah, so consider success as a t-shirt, not a suit, not a something that covers everything.
And a t-shirt that works for someone else might not work for you.
Absolutely.
One definitely won't be the same size.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. People always get carried away, and I did for the longest time, and I love sharing my experiences because I just felt that I realized that those experiences are meant to be experienced, not lived with.
Big
That's why
difference.
it's called an experience. It's X. The first part is X. It's halas. You got to let it go.
Learn from it and
It's X.
Well said, well said.
Put it behind. And I spent a lot of time living in experiences. I had something and, I just kept going with it. Say, okay, this is how it's going to happen every time.
Can you give us an example?
So, even certain jokes that I used to do, certain relationships I was in, unfortunately, I created a pattern as an experience saying, oh, this happened with this woman and now it's going to happen again. So every time I saw certain triggers or certain, common points, I'd be like, oh, I know this one. Now the problem is, again, comes to ego, that we're sometimes so egoistic that we love to be right. Where even if you're if to the point where you would want somebody to mess up, like you want the girl to cheat on you because you've been cheated on before, so you can tell yourself, I knew it. I knew it.
And you spend your time looking. It's like a confirmation
I
bias.
knew it. I know myself. Man, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I know people who've been in a relationship, got cheated on, cheated on each other, and now worked it out and moved ahead. So there is no sort of formula.
What would you say it takes if someone is watching this or listening to this and they go, hey, that is me right there?
Yeah.
Because at some point, I was like that. In any aspect, you look at the experience and you said it beautifully. It's an experience and then let it go.
Yeah, let it go. I'm no saint. I've made mistakes. I've hurt people. You really need to sit down one day and look yourself in the mirror and say, you're an ass. That was not nice. No.
So it's actually to take the time and sit down with yourself, not with anyone else.
Absolutely. You are your own child. You have to treat yourself like your child. You have to scold yourself. You have to pamper yourself like a child. That's the best way to do it.
Well said.
So if you are not going to take care of your own child, nobody else will. No, you know it best. So sit down and tell yourself, you're an asshole. The society doesn't let you. People can't get up and say, I'm an asshole, because what will happen is, oh, he's an asshole. Oh, he's an asshole. People connect. So I'm not saying go out there and, say I'm an asshole. But, I think knowing that you've been an asshole, that's 50% you won the game.
Yes.
Because then you will not be one.
Yes.
But denying the fact that, you're, oh, I'm a nice guy, oh, I do charity, it's fine. What is a nice guy? What is this whole concept of, I want to be, I want to inspire people. I want my life to be inspiring.
Very ego-driven.
Let it happen. The sentence is wrong. I want my life to be. You can't want it. Inspiration is organic. Your life will become inspiring.
Yes.
If you let it. But you're not letting it. You're pushing so much. It's like a baby, You want the baby out in 4 months. And then you can't complain if there's unfortunate complications and you have a premature baby. And you can't say, just give it 9 months. Give everything, literally, that's my mantra. Give it 9 months. Life takes 9 months. Life, to come into this world.
And yet very often you see people in any field just about, I want it now, I want it like this. Why isn't it happening?
Yeah, it's fine. I think
I've experienced it personally.
Yeah, because what's happening is, and I always say this, that I'm not part of the race because I'm not a rat. I'm not. And having said that, I was part of it. Now I'm not. I choose not to be anymore.
And
you know.
what helped you? Like, what started helping, that change of thought process?
So I do this exercise regularly, and I highly recommend it because I said that in my workshop as well. Whenever you get a chance, go back. Take a Sunday, take a Friday, go back. Go back to things you've done.
I remember this because in that moment, and I apologize for cutting off, but I remember when you said it, I was going, this is interesting. So many of us, including myself, have a perspective of now, here, and move on.
Yeah.
Don't look back.
Yeah.
And when you said it, I was like, whoa, hold on a second, Kev. When was the last time you actually looked back? So please continue, but I just remember this so vividly when you said it. I'm like, this perspective is different.
So I call it taking the long jump. You will jump farther if you take 2 steps behind. It's logic. It's a slingshot. Just because you go back doesn't mean you're going back. It means you're going to come back with boom. You're going to rocket up. So when you do that, you realize that, you're so capable. Everything, it's so beautiful that everything you said then, it's impossible, man, not going to happen. Whether it's, passing your exams, passing a driving test, you've done it. But have you acknowledged it? Have you spent time? And that's what, again, sorry, I think this interview is going to be amazingly about my wife. She when I was going through a tough period,
kudos to what seems to be a great partner.
Yes.
And
I love you, Aarti.
And I really believe that we should cover it because perhaps we know what to look for in a partner.
Yes.
We'll come to this question, but take us through this exercise. So what do you do on a regular basis, or would you recommend for the listeners or viewers?
So what I recommend is literally picking up a day and just go back to things you've done. I had a funny incident. So I was telling you about, so basically what Aarti told me is that, it's amazing how she knows all this. She's so wise. It's amazing to be around her. Like, I really love listening to her. And I don't listen to people much because I'm always talking. But I literally sit down and she just says, so she said that, what the problem in the world today is that we don't feel any emotion in totality. We are running in and out of emotions. Whether it's happiness, we don't cherish or enjoy or celebrate or even be sad enough long enough. So everything is like, oh, it's fine. Okay. Oh, you see quotes like, oh, if you fall down, you get up and go. But wait, let's acknowledge that you've fallen down. The problem is people are not acknowledging that they've fallen down.
Yes.
How can somebody get up if they don't realize they've fallen?
There are times
it doesn't make sense. What are you getting up from?
Crying, you need to cry it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the only solution to it.
I cried 3 days back.
Yeah.
I had a very, very emotional moment. I went through a tough period, and now things, alhamdulillah, are getting better. And I just cried. Cry is your emotions. It's sweat for your soul.
Yes.
You're sweating your soul. That's the only way. It's one of those few beautiful and still pure emotions left. So don't keep things in. Try because I cannot comment for everybody. So that's what Aarti used to tell me, like, you have to please go back and can you just see what you've done, like
acknowledge what you've done.
Yes, I think acknowledgement is that's actually all you need, because if you don't acknowledge that I have this problem, then how can you cure something you don't know? You know what I mean? So she told me that you've been through so much, because I was going through a phase where I used to regularly talk to her, and God bless her, she used to patiently sit and listen to my and she said the whole thing was that you've been through so much. I said, do you realize how much shit you've been through? I said, but it's fine. It's like it's not. Hold on, just stop everything. Let's you need
simmer
to,
on it.
Yeah, like you went through so much, and you are still standing. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what happened. Let's talk about things you said. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm a dumb.
So it's acknowledging the hurt or the challenges, but also acknowledging the fact that you stood through it, or you got through it, or you achieved something.
Absolutely. Go back, go to your CV. I saw my CV there. I'm like,
Oh, yeah, I was
shit,
gonna
I've done
ask
all
you.
this. It's hilarious. I'll show you my CV. It's hilarious.
How?
The stuff that I've written. Oh my God. I don't
What
know.
stands out for you? So in 2007,
Oh,
what would be something in your
Yeah,
CV?
it starts with my objective. My objective. I did this. I even mentioned that I used to work. I sold milk at Marmam at City Center. Why would I put that in my CV? Anyway, my CV is. If you see my CV, and I realize it was a very. It's a very. And now I can say that to my younger self. It was really cute. It was this young kid whose CV was actually not even half a page.
Okay.
But I've put everything in it, so it's 3.5 pages of me just saying, "Hey, just give me work, man. Like, okay, I can do this. Just call me. Just call me. Valid driving license. Resident visa. I've done Microsoft. I can do this. Languages spoken, Arabic, little bit. I've written little bit. I've written little bit in a bracket in my CV. Arabic, little bit. Like, what is little bit? But it's what was very nice, and I was thinking,
Pure.
It's pure.
Yeah.
It's pure. I know where that came from. It didn't come from a place where I had to look for a big word. And that's when I meet people. That's what I love about them. In Hindi, it's a word called sadgi, simplicity.
It's also Persian.
Yeah,
Sadgi.
sadgi
Yeah.
means that sadgi is what we
simplicity.
should chase.
Yeah.
We should chase that. Like if you in your partner, that's what you chase. Because I promise you, the richest man can wake up tomorrow morning and stocks will crash and all that will be gone. But and I always say this as a quote that I'm not the product, I'm the factory. So I reached a point in my life where I said, I'm the factory. If it goes away, I'll make another one. I'm able to create, and I've been blessed, alhamdulillah, by God to be able to create and now be useful. So I'll create.
And you're referring to if, heaven forbid, everything was taken away from you, you
happened.
can start tomorrow at zero.
It happened. It happened. I'll share with you. 6 months back, I had zero. I went zero on both my accounts. First time in my life. Zero.
Yeah. I've been there a few times.
And it's overwhelming. I can share with you now. And actually, I called Aarti and I said the same thing that I had a tough time. And the other day, I was sitting here, and I don't know if you saw a post, and I'm sitting in this amazing hotel room, and I'm having a mixed grill, and I'm having a Coke, and I just teared up. You know what I mean? And that's like, wow. So and that makes you believe that, like, the spirit and everything's going to be okay. You know what I mean? Like, you just need to understand that. And I have this very, very, I don't know where I come up with these things, but I very thing that, there's very limited happiness in the world. I believe in it. And when I feel bad, when I feel sad, in my head, okay, because there's limited happiness, I say, okay, you know what? God has rented my happiness to somebody who really needs it. It's going to come back. It's rental.
What a great mindset.
So when I'm sitting there going like, oh shit, I didn't get the show and life is shit. And then I go like, okay, there's a child who's lost a parent. He's an orphan. And for some time my happiness has gone to him. Automatically you just belittle, whatever you, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is, because you do see that there are, people who are happy and happy in the same room. You just feel like, okay, this one's happy, this one's unhappy. So maybe God is just renting out happiness. He's having a tough time as well. Trying to like, okay, give it to him. So I look forward to the good times.
Yeah, that's really a great perspective, because we all face tough times, tough days, tough weeks, sometimes just tough years.
Yeah.
And again, I say this for myself, but I'm sure a lot of people have also experienced it, where you're going, man, is life picking on me?
Yes.
Is God picking on me? I mean,
You look up and say, yeah.
have I not paid my dues? I mean,
Yeah.
why am I being, just, I'm trying, every door is closing.
Yeah.
But this perspective that, hey,
Can I tell you that something
Yeah.
that worked for me? And I don't want to disrespect anybody, but I think we're all just really sad people. Okay? We're just a bunch of sad people. And if we start believing that, the happy moments will matter more.
okay,
We're living the other way around. We think we're really happy people. And then when the sad thing happens, you are devastated.
interesting. So you're saying set up sadness as a baseline,
Yeah.
so that when a good
even
moment
the-
happens, you really appreciate it.
You will really appreciate it. Think about it.
That's different, huh?
Yeah. Why are we saying happiness comes and goes? Say sadness comes and goes. If you think about it, nobody says, hey, I'm really sad. Thank God. But enjoy your sadness. Enjoy. I have moments when I know I'm going to be sad. I just get a pizza, switch off my phone. I have to feel it in totality.
Yes.
I have to feel sad. Not to sound weird, but I had a bit of a bout with depression as well. But before that, I used to be like, hey, it's going to be sad day. I used to call my buddies over. We used to have, men, 4 grown-up men used to have a crying party. We just get a couple of drinks and we just cry. Just cry.
And are you talking about embracing it, go through that feeling, and then go, okay, I've done that feeling.
Yeah.
I've given it its
Yeah.
full attention, and now time to go and do what I need to do.
Feel the feeling. The
Right.
first part of feeling is feel. We don't spend enough time feeling.
What would you say to those that just end up living that the whole time?
No, it's fine. It's fine. See, if you live in a so if somebody and that's not what I would say. I think everybody would say the same thing. If you're living in the same pair of jeans and your size is changing,
Yes.
you're gonna burst out of it.
Yeah.
You still be comfortable. It's not like it's going to be uncomfortable. But then eventually, it's people from the outside will tell you, "Hey, man, your jeans are too tight." That's exactly how it is. So I'm saying, don't give up the concept of wearing jeans. Know your size. I love wearing jeans, but it doesn't mean I'm going to keep wearing the same 28 size.
Right.
I love denims, but why? Understand that now my size is 34. Why squeeze myself into those old experiences? Why squeeze myself into those old? Because we evolve. You probably relate to it. Coming from a different field and having different career options and
Yes.
different mindsets. We come from a space where I woke up one Tuesday morning and I was like, oh, and I was responsible. I became responsible on a Tuesday morning. I woke up and I was a different man. I just became this person. I was. That's it.
No defining
unstoppable.
moments, nothing.
Simple.
Yeah. You've just made a decision.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. Why? The problem is when you go trying to be inspired. You understand the concept of trying to be inspired? It's in you. My idol, my boss, Jim Carrey, says that it's so funny that we're looking for something that we already have. It's in us. We have the will to do things. So I don't know if it's a proper fact, but I do believe in it. When a child is born, 98% of effort is done by a mother.
Yes.
2% of effort is done by a child who's not even born.
Okay.
We come into this world with will. 2% for a fetus is a lot. So you see, if you understand that about yourself, that you have it, it's in you. You came into existence because of willpower, which you didn't know you had. It was your survival. So your will kicks in when you decide that I'm going to survive this.
Imagine what you can do. Yeah. When you
Yeah.
choose to do. Yeah.
And always find motivation. Find your own motivation.
How do you find it? Like, where do you seek motivation?
You create it for yourself.
Yeah.
The thing is about, and I say this in my workshop, that don't generalize motivation. I have a lot of respect for people who write these quotes and all that stuff, but it's very generic. Find out what motivates you.
Yes.
I don't understand certain quotes. They don't motivate me.
Doesn't relate.
Yeah. I'm not crazy about, for example, I don't want to take names, but I'm not crazy about certain motivational speakers. They're famous. But it's not that I don't like them, but they don't do it for me.
Sure.
So let's acknowledge that instead of, oh man, everybody's motivated by this guy, I am not feeling it, something wrong with me. No.
Which is not the case.
No, but a lot of people
Absolutely
do
not.
that. Like, I don't know why I'm not feeling it. Because you're looking in the wrong direction.
That's right. I've had times where I was motivated by a random kid in the mall.
Absolutely.
I've seen the kid fall,
I agree.
hit their face on the ground,
I agree.
blood, and within 30 seconds they're smiling, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, I used to be that kid.
Yeah. That's one of the things that we've got to go back to being kids, man. We've got to go back to being those untainted, you know, single-minded, determined children. That and totally like they don't care. They don't care. It's amazing. Like you work with children, and that's why I get along really well with children because we have the same IQ. But I'm proud of that. I think it's the fact that
But kids are super smart. I mean, intuitively.
I tell people,
They
please
sense
spend
you.
time with children. You want to heal, spend time with children. Maybe it's not your child, but just go spend time with children. They'll sort you out. They will sort you out without sorting you out, without you knowing that they're sorting you out. So I think it's amazing, where we're in a space right now where we are going back to the basics, and everything is becoming organic.
Yes.
I'm very happy about the fact that a lot of young people, a lot of young energy is now into spirituality, understanding emotions. They are doing all these things because I think it's natural.
Have you always had this self-awareness? Because one of the reasons I wanted to chat with you, and every time we had a conversation or when I'm following you, I'm like, Nitinn is really self-aware. And one of the questions I had was he always self-aware, or was there a defining moment that made him realize, hey, I need to ask questions?
Yeah. So I'm going to, I don't know if it's a word, but I was self-beware
Okay.
for the longest time before I became self-aware.
Okay.
Means I would just beware of my own self. I would be scared of my own self, scared of who I am, what I am, what I've done in the past, the experiences I've had.
And you were blocking yourself from entering,
yes.
or?
I was blocking myself, everybody around me. I was manifesting and pushing out what they think of me. I would double guess. I would double, question everything. I would be that person. If you book me for a gig, I would say, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm sure." He's like, "Yeah."
That's why I called you.
Yeah, it's like, but listen, I know this is like, it's a big event. And so I had people like, are you on drugs? Like, I'm calling you to give you a gig and you're making me. So I just realized that, what am I doing? What am I doing? But, I can sort of relate to it, and I do feel bad, not for long though, but I do feel bad for people who struggle through this.
Yes.
Struggle through, not being able to, find a way to just feel confident about yourself. And it all, goes back in time.
Yes.
I implore people, I sort of push people now to go find out what was it.
Yeah, because
What's the pattern?
so many of us, including myself, have on multiple occasions, it doesn't matter what level of success, or when you don't have anything, or you're starting out, or you're having a crisis or a breakdown, we feel lost.
Yeah.
Or there are so many options, we don't know what to take, so we're still lost.
Yeah.
So what would you say to someone like that? I mean, what advice would you give?
I don't think I can give advice. I can probably just
Or guide
share.
in terms of what direction to take?
Sorry, just repeat your question again.
In terms of self-awareness, I initially wanted to know, when did you become self-aware? And then perhaps from your experience, if you were to guide someone, let's say someone listening to this podcast or watching it on YouTube, they're asking, okay, I'm in a place of frustration. I have either too many options and I'm lost, or I have no options, no idea what I'm doing, I'm totally lost.
I would just say that, whenever you get a chance, find out about yourself. Don't listen to what people think of you.
Ask yourself questions.
Ask yourself, question yourself every day.
And listen.
Why do I sit on my bed and shake that leg? Why do I keep shaking my leg before I go to sleep? Question it. Figure it out. Don't let it go. Like, oh, that's my habit. Why do I, sit and, scratch my nose when I get nervous? What are these tics? Where do they come from? Even if you find out that it's a medical thing, at least you find out.
Sure.
If you have a condition, if you're dyslexic, find out to what level. I'm doing that right now. This whole generalization of, I have anxiety. What kind? What are your triggers? So in life, generally, and that's that's my path right now. I want to know who I am, to be able to take it forward, to be able to introduce myself to the world. I have been introducing myself as Nitinn Miranni. I don't know who he is.
Nitinn Miranni, the actor. Nitinn Miranni, the stand-up comedian.
Who is he? Who is he? It's literally, who is he? And okay, he was that guy before, but now what? Now I want to introduce him properly. Like, I know this guy. Hey, this is a good friend of mine, Nitinn Miranni. Say hello. He's this guy. So it's very important for you to introduce yourself to yourself correctly. So question yourself, why do I do things? Why is it that I feel like this? Why is it that I know my dad is going to say something mean to me, but I walk into it? Why is it that I'm banging my head on a wall, hoping the wall will break?
I remember asking the question when I was younger, why am I so different from my brothers?
Yeah.
Because I've got a middle brother
Yeah.
who is outgoing, positive,
Yeah.
he's naturally cool.
Yeah.
And I am not naturally cool.
Yeah.
Over the years I've learned to accept it.
Yeah. You see, but I'll correct you there. So not everything has to be the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
The opposite of cool is not uncool.
It's true. I'm just different.
Yeah. So why do
And I'm
we?
super okay with it now.
Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah.
You have to be. Why? Okay. Who says it's? If you're not cool, then that's it.
That's right.
We know a lot of cool, uncool people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told you the other day, I found out at a certain point in my life that I was the most successful, unsuccessful person in the world.
It made me think.
Here
That made me
I
think.
am, like, oh, this. But I was like, oh, shit. I know. I'm drowning. I'm like the duck. You don't see the feet. You just see this beautiful thing just gliding through, and that's all of us. The best way to describe people
Yes.
is we're that duck. Like under the water, we are paddling. Our feet are going like crazy, and that's not a good visual. I'm attacking that visual, saying, "You see that? That's who we are. Let's talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
This will keep changing.
Let's talk about it. Let's ask the question. Let's find out. Let's be okay with it.
Yeah.
And then from that place, you can make changes if you want to.
Never say I know myself. Never say I know that person. You're limiting yourself
Because we're evolving.
every day.
Yeah.
Every day. So you're limiting yourself from saying, oh, you know what? I know myself. I would never do that. You will. When the time comes, you will. You will do the right thing and you will do the wrong thing.
Yes.
Any situation, if you want to heal more, you need to feel more. Feel.
Well, that's a good one.
Feel.
If you want to heal more,
You got to feel more.
you got to feel more.
That's it.
That's a good one.
It's literally that simple. But having said that,
But yet we're so scared of doing it.
yeah.
It's not a comfortable situation. Even though I'm self-aware, even though you're self-aware, it's still a discomfort.
Agreed. Agreed. It's not for everybody. But all I'm trying to say is that at least find out what your situation is.
I've become happier over the last few years when I've come to a realization, Kev, you're not your brother.
Yeah.
You might not be uncool, but
Yeah.
you're just not him. It's a different vibe.
Yeah.
You bring a different strength to the table. So I had a friend who asked, what's your best quality as a friend? I said, I'm not a good friend. Why is that? Because I know what a good friend is there. A good friend is there for you. A good friend, any phone call that you can just turn up to their house.
Yeah.
You better not turn up to my house unannounced because I will not open the door for
Right.
you. My mom once turned up to the home
Yeah.
and I didn't open the door. And it wasn't anything against, and some people might think that's rude, but I'm just that kind of a person. I like to know
Yeah.
if you're going to come over, and you're welcome, as long as I know. But there were a few things, and one of which is, and I'm very proud of it,
Yeah.
is that I'm a dick.
Proud.
Oh yeah, I'm very clear with you.
Yeah, we
And
call you a dick.
And I just
You're
feel like
different.
yeah,
You're different.
I'm a different.
I'm a
but
different.
That could be a new
That could be a
tagline.
way. I'm a
Yeah,
different.
it's just I'm not the kind of person who socializes a lot. So as much as they say go network, and I know it's held me back from say potential business.
Of course.
It's just not me.
Yeah,
And
right.
I thought I'm going to be true to myself, but I'm going to find a different way of marketing and being able to attract business and do work with people. When it comes to friendships and relationships, I don't do big crowds. The only time I do a big crowd is when I'm speaking.
Yeah.
If I'm not speaking, let me be.
Correct.
But it took that
Off stage.
discomfort, It took that discomfort of asking the question, hearing myself, judging myself, going through that feeling, and then going, okay, no, you know what? There are some things I'm going to change, like I'm not going to be constipated looking because it's nice to put a smile on your face. That I want to do, so I've actively done that. But I'm okay with who I am.
Yeah.
And since then, I've just become so much happier.
Absolutely. What happens is you are never going to be liked by everyone. You're never
100%.
going to be appreciated by everyone.
100%.
You just need to cherish and respect and find the people who will do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny you say that you don't open the door to people and all that. So what we always forget when people say things like karma, oh, this thing happened bad, man, it's karma. Man. What if it's, karma is a whole circle, right?
Yeah, it's not a revolving door.
Why do we just, like, if it's happening to her, it's because it's her karma. So it's all linked together. You know what I mean? So when you say things like, I'll give you small, it's a very beautiful story. I don't know if it's a true story. So there's this, the idea is to understand who you are and your potential. And, you know, so big politician guy in India, he has 3 sons. And of course, the first son, studied and he's doing a good job and will go into politics. Second son is, doesn't know what to do and all that stuff. Third son is a complete lost case. He's like, man, parties and women and all that wrong stuff you can think of. So this guy's like, what do I do, man? My legacy is over. This guy walks in and his assistant, minister assistant, he goes, okay, let me tell you what you're gonna do. This guy, your first son, he's good at what he's doing, right? So you put him as the as the face of everything, right? The second guy is unsure about things, tell him to go and meet people, convince them, because if he's unsure about things, by the time he starts talking to them, he himself will be sure that I'm doing the right thing. And the third guy, make that guy in charge of just, entertainment. He likes to party. So to get your job done, every time you want to throw a party, you want to make someone happy, just put him out there. So the minus that he had, that my son is somebody, became a plus.
It's a strength, yeah.
It became plus. Like now that son is in charge of, when the guests come in, he gets dinners, he gets parties, he gets clubs. He's still doing what he's doing.
That's right.
But the idea is once you know that this is who I am, you'll be able to channelize it in any way you want. Any way you want. Today, why are all these apps coming up? Every motivation behind every app is they know what they want, what they're trying to do. Otherwise, it's fine. Like today, you say that, okay, it's the same. But if you read any of the brands, the objectives, they're very clear about what they want. Like Facebook is this, Twitter is this. If I ask anybody, same thing. Twitter, Facebook, same thing. It's not. It's not. They know exactly what they're doing. So sort of finding out, where you're coming from. And it's a journey. Please do not be in a hurry. Please do not be in a hurry. And I get anxiety when I say it. This feeling of, trying to beat the clock and trying to be the best me now, trying to be, man, we've all done it. And, some people succeed, some people don't. But do it till it works for you. That's my only request to everybody. You know when it's not working for you.
It's really interesting because the point that you made, it takes 9 months for a child.
That's my I don't know why I came up with this, but I keep 9 months. I think I have this 9 months, I have this idea that even birth happens in 9 months, so maybe things can really change. So anything you start, give it 9 months.
Get inspired.
Imagine if you could present yourself, your thoughts and your ideas with clarity and confidence. Imagine if you could speak to influence and impact. Imagine if you could communicate like a commanding and charismatic leader. Well, you can, given the right information and the investment of effort from your end. How do I know that? As a public speaking coach, I work with CEOs, world leaders, and presidents. And when they hire me, they expect nothing short of results. And over the years, it's been 2 decades now, 2 challenges have risen for me being unable to help the majority of people. I'm usually on a plane, with the majority of my time being booked a good year or two in advance. And my one-on-one session to work with someone in person generally starts at $20,000. So we solved the problem by making my public speaking course available for you online. Everything that I teach my clients when I'm working one-on-one, thoughts, tips, strategies, how to do things, all on video, all sequenced in the right order for you to be able to watch, rewatch, practice, and refine your presentation, your speaking, and your overall communication skills. And guess what? You will get results. Now, you can have this course not for the $20,000 that my clients pay me when we work one-on-one. You can have it for $997. That's right, just $997. You might be thinking, well, why are you offering something that you charge $20,000 for $997? It's simple, because those who want to work with me one-on-one will still hire me. But for many whom I might be out of their budget, this is a great way to develop their communication skills, to cut through the noise, to rise above the rest, and to beat their competition. If you're serious about wanting to develop your skills, to be able to present your thoughts, your ideas, and yourself with clarity and confidence, to be able to speak, to influence and impact, and to communicate like a confident and charismatic leader, then this course is for you. Go on to kevinabdulrahman.org/course and get started today. How did you know that comedy was your thing? Because if it doesn't work for you, then you said, okay, then move on. So how did you know comedy was your thing? Did you just go, yep, I'm stand-up comedian? Did you try different things and it didn't work out?
Everything.
Take me through it.
I worked for McCain Foods. I worked in real estate. I worked in Spain for a year. I moved to Spain. I worked there outside selling towels. A store. I was a TV producer. I was a fashion choreographer. I did photography. I used to do promotions.
Okay.
I tried everything, and so I'd love to give you the correct answer for this. And of course, this answer has changed in the last few months.
Give us both answers.
Before I was like, comedy is my passion, and comedy is my... No, comedy is a very dear friend. Comedy gave me a hug and said, bro, I got you, when nobody did. Comedy was... So here I am, very shy, didn't realize I was dyslexic, labeled as somebody who's dumb. And I believed in it.
As a child?
Yeah, and I believed in it, because it's easier to believe that than to, as a child, to fight and say, no man, I have these problems. You go like, okay, everybody says you're dumb, so okay, I'm done. Cool. Easier. And that's one thing I wish parents and elders would not do this to children, because these minds are very fragile.
Which is really interesting, because I think you are super smart and super intelligent.
In spurts. So if you gave me language, if I had to write an essay or something, I would write the shit out of the essay. I would a bestseller. I just keep writing about moral science, about stories, and like you tell me that write an essay about this, and I would make it a film.
Yeah.
It'd be like,
that's your thing.
There would be camera angles. There'd be like, okay, this one walks in from here, the light. But then I would see numbers and I would see math, and I used to piss myself. Literally, I can say this now. I pissed myself in tuition. Literally, a grown guy. I peed myself because I was like, these numbers are like slapping me in the face. Till date, I find it hard to count money. So I'm finding it. I'm finding all these things about myself now, and it's only unfortunate thing that I feel is that I wish I sort of didn't give in. I went and said, hey, wait a second. So you're really good at drama, theater, and you're doing all that. That makes you really happy. But then you're like, you can't like understand numbers. When you read, sometimes words jumble up and all that.
How did that affect you?
No,
did you have that fight? Internal
yeah,
fight when you were younger?
the contrast was really high. I would be very comfortable, not to put it this way, not, and of course no disrespect to anybody who's going through this condition, but I'm just going to speak about myself. I'd be very comfortable being dumb, actually. But to have this sort of excel and then go down, you see, it's like from point A
It's a big drop.
So that drop is something that I have had anxiety attacks half my life through school without knowing that they were anxiety attacks. I used to just drink water. I was like, I'm just dehydrated, just drink water. But it's not. Now, when I've had a few, I was like, so that's what it is. It's an anxiety attack. It doesn't need water. It's like I'm trying to, using parental to, cure cancer. So now I'm sort of understanding, these things about myself, and I wouldn't say I'm upset, but I really want to challenge and stand up against the upbringing. Certain people do not realize as parents, and I say that sometimes good people can be bad parents.
I mean, it's difficult because the
You
reality
can't-
is
yeah.
our parents or the previous generations, they've done the best with what they had.
Absolutely. But the idea is, and you'll agree, that they refused to move ahead with times. There's a
In many
famous-
cases, in many cultures, in many countries.
I was telling you the other day that some idiot made a mistake back in the day and had too big an ego to say, oh shit, I made a mistake. He called it tradition, and it just kept going down from generation to generation, whether it's superstition, whether it's this is how you're supposed to talk to your dad, this is what you talk to your dad about, you don't discuss sex with your mom. You know what I mean? And I question, like, how? Whose mindset have we been living with? These are not my questions. Who's put these questions in my head? Forget questions. Who's put these answers in my head? I didn't ask the question. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fine.
Are you really fine?
Nobody asked you. Why do you go through things and go, it's fine, I'm fine. Who put that in your head? Who put that in your head? Why don't you sit down and say, okay, I am not fine. This is I am stuck. Okay, I am not fine.
Feel it.
Feel it. No. Okay, get up. You fall 8 times, you get up 9 times. Okay, great. Fall. Again, I say, acknowledge that you've fallen. People don't acknowledge. And as comedians, we also go through a big thing is because we jump through feelings. So if there's a breakup, we'd be sad for like a couple of hours, and then we're like, oh, that's funny, I'll just put this down. If you're happy about something, you're like, oh. So
you're not really feeling it for long.
we're just trying to maximize every feeling, but the wrong way. That, okay, this is great, let me do something about this, let's go here. So what we do is we take our plant and we keep putting it here, there, here. Well, your plant is well traveled, but it's not growing. It needs roots.
Great analogy. That's a good
It needs roots. There's a beautiful story that this is one story that changed my mind, and the worst part is I can't remember who told me this story, but it was so apt. It happened to me at the right time. It's a very silly story. I'm probably sure you know about it, but I always sit through these because they're simple.
Yes.
When somebody tells me a story, say, you know what? Once in a forest, normal people are like, oh, shut up. I was like, no, go on, because that's the simplicity
Yes.
of it. I can't. Back in 1970, I don't need facts. Just talk to me with emotions.
That's right.
Farmer plants 2 trees, same time, does everything, water, puts them together. 6 months later, the tree on the right is, good size, and the tree on the left is fairly big. You give another couple of years, 2 years, 3 years, everything goes the same way. This tree is, still growing. This one is like a beautiful tree with fruit, and it's a very nice looking tree. It's like the Beyonce of trees. And this one is like, just getting there. So one day there's a storm and everything starts moving and all that stuff. And suddenly this big tree gets uprooted and falls. And it falls on the smaller tree. But because of that, it doesn't fall to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't get completely uprooted because it gets here. So it's cute. But this tree says to the tree, like, hey, okay, what just happened? I don't get this. Look at me. Look at me. I'm this beautiful, magnificent tree. And look at you. And how can you save me? So the other tree says that all these years when you've been growing like this, I've been growing like this. And when I still remember when I heard this story, it just blew my mind. I was like, wow, I get it. I get it. When you say you're different than your brother, you're not. Your roots are growing differently.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see people outside who are, it doesn't mean that, you are not amazing like that. You're grounded. Mm-hmm. We all need to know that we need to be different people in society. Mm-hmm. I need people. If you want to be a good guy, you need bad people. Mm-hmm. Because they will define a good person. Everybody's playing a part. You can't, if everybody's good, then who's good?
It's like, light. Like you want to know or appreciate light if there's no darkness.
Yeah, absolutely. So that point hit me really well. And that made me make peace with myself. At some point I'm like, okay, so the point here is growth is happening. It's not happening visibly.
Mm-hmm. Or on society's standard.
On society's standards. It's not happening like that. But it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And that made me feel like, okay, there's hope. Okay. This is also a way to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much, that moment was actually defining for me. And this was in a coffee shop, very noisy coffee shop. So,
but clearly at the right time and the right space, because it's memorable.
Yeah. And I think the entire credit for this would go to the fact that somehow, again, by the grace of God, I was willing to listen. I was willing to listen to a story that started with the fact that there was one farmer, he put 2 trees. Nobody has time for these stories.
Yeah.
I don't know, something in me said, okay, go on.
Listen.
And that's it.
Because very often you see individuals, perhaps even myself at some point in life, or at a stage where I might seek help, I want help, but I'm not willing to listen.
That's the problem. People are drowning and they're like, help, 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 help. It's like, hey, I'm helping. No, can you come help me from this side? Because, this is my better profile. Decide. This is the help coming. God is beautiful. God is amazing. He's sent, come on, he might just slap you in the face saying, how many more people do you want me to send you?
That's true.
Who are you waiting for? Just keep your eyes and ears open. People are there. People are nice. You chat, share with people. Share. The more conversations you have, the better you will connect with yourself, not with others. You think you're having a conversation with somebody else? Never. Every time you have a conversation with somebody else, you're having it with yourself.
And it's an opportunity to get better.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Get inspired.
You know this by now, that we are the #1 YouTube show / podcast that's coming out of the Middle East from Dubai. If you like the idea of having your brand reach at least 1 million eyeballs per episode, then feel free to reach out to my office on kevinabdulrahman.org. Without further delay, let's continue this great conversation.
But there's a lot of research that shows for creative work, it's really 4 hours of condensed. From your experience, do you feel that's true? Like 4 hours focus, condensed, as opposed to burning yourself out with such long hours on creative work?
Okay, so there's something called the hustle. There's something called working hard and working smart. Okay, some of us get a high from the hustle. Some of us physically. So there's mental and physical as well. Okay, some of us enjoy getting an idea while you're working out in the gym.
That's me.
You know,
Yeah.
you enjoy that. You know that something's going to happen there. Some of us go like, you know what? I need to be alone in a place, sitting quietly in the basement and just meditating. You know, I'm going to meditate for 2 hours and something's going to happen. So when you put it down that way, you need 4 hours. I think it's a very, and you know, it's amazing you say that, because we've grown up. Our parents have always said the same thing to us in different languages, saying just concentrate. One word. Just concentrate on what you're doing. Yeah. So whether it's physically, whether it's 4 hours, whether it's 9 hours, it's wrong for you to say that. And again, because you say, you know, creative, you don't know. There's no pattern to creativity. You know, you could spend something. You could spend 4 hours on something, or 9 hours on something, trying to crack it, and then wake up the next morning and take a shit, and you go like, fuck, that's it. That's the logo. I got the logo. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is that go through the exercise. Go through the exercise. Don't fall into this. I think the best advice, you know, what you said, what you quoted, I think the advice they're trying to give is that use your time correctly. So basically what they're saying is you don't have to burn yourself out. You don't have to do so many hours. But if you do a concentrated 4 hours, again, going back to the gym, if you concentrate on one body part, one muscle group,
Yes.
yeah, you're able to do things better. But if you're doing a full body workout, you will get sore back to back. So, but the good thing is you decide when you want to do legs. You decide when you want to do arms.
And you do what's right for you.
Yeah. Because you decide that this is going to be the outcome. I want my arms to look like that. I want my...
That leads me to the question of how do you get
You know,
yourself...
somebody who's having a really hard time going to the gym, I give a lot of gym. I'm going to join the gym when I go back.
How do you get yourself in the zone? So how do you get yourself into a creative zone of, say, writing your jokes? I'm going to ask the question later on of how do you get yourself in the zone before you get on stage. But how do you get yourself in the zone in terms of writing your comedy or your creative process?
I'm still working on it. I'm still working on creating a pattern of sorts. It would be nice for me to say, oh, it's, man, I get an idea in the night. So I used to have that. You know, I created a pattern somehow. Where every day, 3 o'clock in the morning, I used to just have a thought. So I sleep with my laptop always like, you know, around me. So I have a thought and I just put it down. I push myself. I know me and my ego. My ego is a bit of an asshole. So I now use my ego to a point where I shoot my mouth out and I say, okay, I'm going to do a show next month on the 23rd here. I have no clue.
Write content.
And I will just put it out there. I'll go and tell people. Like, hey.
So you create deadlines for yourself?
I create physical, mental deadlines for myself.
Okay.
Because I know that I cannot go back to say, hey, I remember the thing I told you, man, that's not going to happen.
Right.
My ego is like, man, you're going to look stupid. So I go like, now it's too late.
Which is interesting.
I've said it.
I'm the complete opposite. I'm not good with deadlines. I'll do everything I can to cross over the deadline. But I've figured out ways, like for me, I'll go to the gym. And I know that when I'm at the gym, as I'm doing my workout, I have thoughts where I write. I pretty much write my speech when I'm working out.
See, it's a full-time job for us. When people tell us, you know, I have a 9 to 5 job, so do we. But ours starts at 9 in the evening. You know, it's still 9 to 5. Our mind is working at 5 in the morning.
That's true.
So the idea of sort of creating a pattern, I still would recommend, you have nothing to lose, that if you sit down and say, okay, you know, every day 1 hour I'm going to try to write something. I think it's not a bad idea, because what will happen is accidentally you will work on your discipline. There's a consistency of discipline and you'll surprise yourself saying, okay, I'm happy that I can commit to this somehow.
And if you write enough bad pages, good pages will come through.
Of course, there are jokes that I've written back in the day which are now popping up and they're funnier because I know how to say them now.
Right.
You understand? So don't shy away from anything. Don't shy away from having bad, you know, anything, you know, which is not which is not as per their standards. You know what I mean?
Or even your own standard. You're like, I want to
Yeah.
hit great all the time.
Yeah, you can't, because you don't know what it is. If you are evolved enough to understand what is great, then you'd be great. You'll realize you are great. But if you're not, then you're just trying to be greater than somebody else. And that's the downfall.
I just find a lot of people, they're not willing to go through the discomfort. You know, let's say, for example, I want to learn something new, or I want to learn the skill, or I want to become
It's the world.
a great comedian.
Yeah.
We live in a world where the expectation is,
It's
I want to be a great comedian, my friend said I can laugh, let's hit the stage.
I have respect for these people because I am a big fan of action.
Yes,
You know, and I always say this, that, you know, at least you make the first move.
yes.
You know, you get up there, you know, you could be a Ferrari, but if you're parked, everybody's going to go ahead. You know, so even a Ferrari needs to move to win the race. So keep moving. You know, we have different, we can think on our feet. So just don't sort of stop yourself. And unfortunately, because of what I went through it with a bit of depression, I stopped. You know, and I think and I think and I think and I think and I connect dots. It doesn't, you know, are you gonna do what you're thinking, or you're just gonna keep thinking about what you're going to do?
Nice.
You know, and you need to always understand. This is a quote, one of the videos from Shah Rukh Khan himself. It's one of his favorite quotes. I don't know if he said it, but in a video where he says the same thing. It's a great, if you guys get a chance, I'll probably put it on the link. It's called Do. D-O.
Okay.
2 alphabets. You know,
Says everything.
says everything. He says you're never stuck in the traffic jam. You are the traffic jam. That's a great perspective to think. You know, because we are always putting us in this situation that, man, you don't know what I'm going through. But the beauty of it is, like you were saying, and that we live in a world today where, of course, things are fast. You know, it's like everybody wants a 1-hour massage in 10 minutes. You know, it's fast cars, fast relationships, fast food, apps. I want to pay. Oh, I want to download. You know, but
What do you mean it's going to take a minute?
yeah, you know, we can't fight, or you get left behind. But it's no problem being, you know, a little slow with things. It's fine. At least you're moving to your own pace. People have this fear of being left behind. That, oh man, if I'm not on Facebook, I'm left behind.
Because they think they're in a race.
Yeah, if I'm not at this club, I've not had Salt Bay Nusrat, I'm left behind.
Love your Salt
Yeah,
Bay.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's-
But it's just that, you know,
if I'm not seen here, if I'm not doing this, if I'm not connecting,
it's fake. It's fake. You know what it is? You're chasing something which will keep moving away from you. So by the time I get 100 followers, it's going to be 10 million. When I get 10 million, it's going to be 4 billion.
and if
So-
you're not happy with what you are, who you are now, you'll never be happy when you get to that point.
It just that's what I always tell and I pray to God. I always pray to God that please don't ever make me an insecure artist. And I just, because I know I'll die if I become an insecure artist. And that's what I don't want to be. You know?
And how did you transition from someone who was, you know, as a kid, if you were bullied or you were different, how did you transition to becoming secure? Because we all have insecurities.
Yeah. You have to, so it depends on what kind of insecurity you have, because many a times, and I always say this, that no matter what insecurity you have, no matter what, please go back and find out the origin. Again, it goes down to the fact that please spend time on yourself to find out why. Why? Because if it's normal, then everybody should be doing it. It's not. It's happening to you. You need to understand that what am I insecure about? Okay,
Why?
What was the incident? I'll give you a very, very amazing example. So after I had an unfortunate thing with the breakup and stuff, I sort of went like, you know what, that's whatever. You know, I'm cool. And this is you know, before I met my wife and stuff. So I have a friend of mine, Disha. So she was in Dubai, and she's like, hey, you're in a bad mood, and come, let's go. I'm a Marvel fan, you know, I'm a geek. So there's an Iron Man thing, and I was like, I'll come, whatever, let's go. We went there, and then she's like, why don't we do the rides? And I was like, I don't do rides. no, I have vertigo. I don't do rides. And she's like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. But then something in me is like, yeah, you know what? If something happens, I think I was in that zone of like, if I crash, I think it's easier, man, because I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Emotionally, I'm like, oh my God. I was like, let me just do it. So this was the ride that shoots up.
Oh dear.
So the minute I sat on the ride, I'm like, oh my God. I'm regretting it instantly, right? And I was like,
What did I sign up to?
yeah, and I was like, you know what? No, this is, no. Like, whatever you feel, no, you can't just give up on. I started, Final Destination. I started, like, there's a nut is going to fly into my eye, I'm going to fall, she's going to die, and I'm doing all this. And before it can happen, it just shoots up.
Oh.
And I don't think I've ever in my life reached out to all the gods at one time. Like this was like a WhatsApp forward to everyone. I spoke to all the gods, saying, whoever saves me first, I will convert. like whoever gets me, and I was like this, and I still remember saying, and she's laughing, right? And she's like, look down. I'm like, no, I have vertigo. She's like, look down. And then she's like, look down, trust me. I just took a breath and I just looked down, and I didn't feel anything.
Okay.
I was like, eh? I knew what I'm supposed to feel. Like, I'm going to feel like I'm going to vomit, or that, you know, that, like...
That was your expectation
yeah,
of what
my stomach would go cold. I knew, like, what I'm supposed to feel. I didn't feel it. So I was looking down, like, hey, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we came down, and there's actually a video she's taken of me. Like, I have walked around like, what just happened? Why am I not feeling... Do I not know myself? Like, why am I not feeling what I'm supposed to feel? Am I dead? Like, what's going on? And she's like, are you okay? I'm like, I don't know. And then I went home and, I slept. And many, months later, I reached a point, actually, some time back, after meeting Aarti only, because I understood the patterns and stuff, I realized that, so I started working when I was very young. And I have put in my head that if anything happens to me, my parents will, I had the responsibility.
Right.
They didn't give it to me.
Something you chose to take on.
Because I was not good at things, so I chose this, so I have to make sure that I don't fail. And I don't have vertigo.
Interesting.
How can I have vertigo? I've been on flights all the time. I fly more than I'm on land.
That's right.
But because I knew that nothing can happen to me, I didn't go bungee jump. I didn't do anything adventurous.
Because subconsciously,
I told myself, you have vertigo.
it was your defense mechanism.
And I started believing in it. I believed in a lie that I told myself, and believed in it for the longest time, just so I couldn't face that.
Mm.
And I was like,
Isn't that interesting?
it was fascinating to see that how many years have I wasted, sort of telling myself that I have vertigo. I don't. But on a subconscious level, that was the reason. So the moment was that thought that nothing can happen to me. If anything happens to me, oh my God, who's going to take care of them? My family. I have to be there for my family. So nothing. No bungee jumping, no go-karting, no anything adventurous, no parasailing, nothing. Hardly. Like, you would really have to,
And from that moment on,
no Ferris wheels.
Did you make any changes?
Yeah. We're going to go skydiving next month.
Take it to the extreme.
Yeah, because sorry, I don't know why this story just popped up, but I think I just wanted to say that you got to be very careful what you tell yourself.
We don't realize.
Yeah,
the limitations we impose on ourselves, or like you said earlier, perhaps tradition, what's been said to us, what's been said by some random person. We start believing it.
I don't know, maybe you would know who this quote is by. It's a very beautiful quote. The person says that be careful what you say, because every molecule of your body is eavesdropping on your internal dialogue.
Well, that's a good one. I haven't heard it before.
Yeah, I'll tell you who it's by. It's by some guy, I can't remember. Be careful what you say, because every molecule is eavesdropping on your internal dialogue. So they work for you. So whatever you say, they do. You go like, oh man, I'm tired. Okay, everyone, tired. I can't do this anymore. Okay, everyone, we're giving up. But you say, okay, I do one more. Let me do one more. You push.
Amazing how much your self-talk actually affects your reality, 100%.
And like we were talking about, having these situations, you will excel if you sort of put yourself, and I think it's absolutely okay, it's worked for me, it's absolutely okay to give yourself unreasonable deadlines also.
Okay.
Just find out. Just put yourself in that situation. Like, have some, great, you could be the most beautiful horse in the world, but if you don't know which way to run, if you have no direction, then you no different than a donkey.
Or if you don't run at all.
So just have that, okay, I have to go there, things might change, but go.
And on that note, I want to ask you, how did you get started into comedy? Because
so
I
Dubai,
remember how you did it.
Dubai, it was Dubai, I started doing comedy in Dubai.
Did you have booking agent just come up to you?
No.
The reason I ask is because there will be a lot of performers or a lot of people who want to start comedy or they want to do things and they're going, oh, it's easy for Nitinn.
Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't have anybody booking me. For the longest time, I used to write to people as my own agent. For the longest time, I was my agent.
Yes.
Myself, with another name. So I used to do that for the longest time. I don't have time to do that anymore because it's very tiring.
It's a lot of work.
You'll get called out like, hey, he said that, not me, but it was me. But who said that eventually? So to get started off in comedy, I just feel that you don't think it. Just get up there and find out.
Did someone offer you a gig or did you ask?
I asked. When I realized that this is good for me, there is something that happened to me where I said, you know what, let me ask. Let me just ask. And I still have that in me. Which is why my agents get very upset. It's like, you don't realize, man, you're at this
You're
place
wanted.
now. And then you call up people and say, hey, can I do a gig? Like, you don't say that. We say that. We're still fighting about that. But yeah, I still have that in me that, listen, I want to work. I am not bigger than the craft. I am not bigger than the stage. So if I get bigger than the stage, my stage becomes smaller. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's good.
I'm not.
That's good. On so many levels. That is so good.
I'm here. Here's what that's my living. That's my bread and butter. Why will I feel shy about? I ask till date. I call people and say, hey, you're doing this gig. I want to do like 10 minutes. Can I do it? And the biggest comedians do that.
Yes.
Biggest artists just, it's in the Bible. Ask and you shall receive. It doesn't say, think about asking and you might receive. It clearly says, ask and you shall receive. So why not? Why not just, what's the maximum they will say? No. At least you know.
It's ego that holds people back.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't worry about it. I just want to request people not to be so harsh on yourself. Things have changed.
You will get no.
You'll get no, you'll get yes, you'll get maybes. Just cherish it. Like whatever you get, just hold on to it for some time. Just see what it is. It's very important to sort of, I'm learning this right now that, learn to say no. And of course this is one of your favorite lines. Again, this is my wife Aarti says to me that you're not as important as you think you are. That one line changed my life. And I was very offended in the beginning, which is my regular response, normal, common. But luckily for me, within a couple of seconds, I'm like, damn.
It's profound when you think about it.
That is so right. It's like, what is this anxiety of you wanting to be everywhere, be in everybody's good books, You've heard this one? I want to be in everybody's good books. Nobody's reading those books.
Yeah.
Everybody's on iPad. You know what I mean? So I guess you just need to know that internally you know that, man, you know, whenever I got a chance, I was useful. That's one thing I would tell everybody. Be useful. Be useful. Today, alhamdulillah, everybody who's whether creative, whether not creative, whether doing a regular job, we're all here. It's because of somebody's blessings.
Yes.
You know, you come across people, you do a nice deed without doing a nice deed, and it comes back, man. I'm a prime example. I'll tell you this. I'm a prime example of coming out of situations and miraculously blessings. Blessings. I know, and it's so beautiful. I know when somebody's blessed me. I even know. As a gentleman who came up to me after the show, I did a show in the warehouse. There's an old gentleman who came up to me and says, thank you so much. I was there, and that show I spoke a little bit about myself. It was very early in the day. I spoke a little bit about myself. It wasn't comedy, but I said, oh, this is what I've been through. And he came up to me, and this is like a 60, 70-year-old man. He came up to me and he said, as first, comedy show I've done in like so many years. And, I laughed so much. I was going through such a hard time. And he said, I was going to close my business, but now I won't.
Oh, wow.
Purely
because you shared
your
your story and he resonated with something?
Because he had to hear something through me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not discuss who is motivating us. What is the motivation? What's the message? Why are we wasting time on what the messenger looks like?
Mm-hmm.
What if the messenger is a child? What if the messenger...
Right.
You don't have to go to seminars. You can maybe sit with your dad and listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
He can motivate you for free. You don't have to pay so much money.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But, you just need to, keep that in mind. And, it's so overwhelming for me to feel this because, in Hindi we have a word called औकात. औकात means standing. Like, I said, मेरी औकात भी नहीं है. Like, I don't even have that standing to be able to make this elderly gentleman feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
How could me make such a big difference? But you have to realize that you're just the voice. You're just a medium, a zariya.
Yeah, a vessel.
A vessel. If you are in a place to be useful, do it.
Absolutely. And we all are. If we become self-aware, we ask questions, we be the best that we can be, and without letting our ego get in the way, and understanding, hey, I might have a gift, or I might have a talent, or I might have an opportunity or a platform, but don't let it get to your head.
Don't let. I was telling Ima the other day, like, don't let insult go down, and don't let praise go up.
Good one.
It's fake. It's fake, bro. It's fake. We come from an industry where we know, and I love the industry. I love everybody. But this adulation, all this is, it's fake. If you get attached to it, you can't live with it. It's fake.
Yeah.
Cherish it and leave it there. Leave it there.
The feeling.
Yeah.
And I just want to come back to this because I've tried many things, failed or decided to give up on it until I got to a position where I was very clear. I want to be a motivational speaker at a certain level and a certain segment.
Great.
And I want to be a public speaking coach to CEOs and world leaders. And very often I get this in terms of questions, messages, and people just, when I'm meeting at events, and they go, how is it that you're doing what you love, or you're lucky? I'm like, because behind the scene, you haven't seen the hundreds of things I tried and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Like I tried 4 a.m. milk cartons. Did that, didn't like it. I tried selling American Express.
Yeah.
Made money. I was like, ooh, I can make money out of this. I have the skill of connecting with people. Not my thing. I've tried a few things. I tried life coaching. After 2 clients, I'm like, you can't pay me enough to deal with your crap. Right? Because, and my style as well is, I'll give you the information directly. The second client started crying.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is not going to really work out. I need to find something.
Yeah.
I said this because I want to know, like, you've tried different things. When you did comedy, people will try because you would have faced no's, you would have faced rejections. Why didn't you quit?
No, I went through a lot. I mean, and I can talk about it openly now, and maybe this is the second time I would say this on camera. I had a major thing with plagiarism.
Okay.
It was a big thing that happened to me. I was called out, and I take complete responsibility for it. It was not plagiarism as such, because I did mention that I've heard this joke somewhere. Nevertheless, it was wrong. I was overnight banned by everybody. Anyways, I was trying to break in, but overnight I became the most hated person. I didn't even use Twitter, but in a day I had 400 tweets on me. I was in the papers saying this guy is joke stealer and all that stuff, and this is all for one reference that I did. Having said that, sure enough, done that. Okay, understandable. Completely my mistake. This was almost 7-8 years ago, and I went through a really tough time. I dealt with paranoia because of that. I was convinced that every time I walk into a room, they're talking about me, and many times they were. And I went through all the stages of feeling that, oh man, so what? Everybody does it and all that. But then I realized that the problem is that I cannot compare. Something unfortunate has happened. God knows my intention was not to sort of do that. But then many years later, I found out why it happened. Again, I made it a point to go back to find out, and the understanding I had, and not the reason also, because there's no reason to do something which is not right, was that when I started doing comedy, suddenly I came into the spotlight.
Yeah.
A couple of shows, and I didn't know how to handle it. The sustenance of being there was very tough for me. So there is a condition as well. I don't think I have that condition where you sort of think you hear something and you think it's your thought. There's a condition. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I don't have it. But that's happened to me many times, and it happens to many comics.
Sure.
You're on stage and you've heard something, and I remember I've been on stage, I've said something, and I've stopped because I was like, oh shit, this is not mine. Because when you do improv conversations, that happens.
It happens with writers as well.
Yeah.
Which is why one of the things they tell writers, don't read books prior to writing, because you just don't know how you get influenced.
So when that incident happened to me in Delhi, it was very tough for me. I went through a lot because I was alone, and imagine everybody attacked me. Like they tore me a new one, as I would say on Twitter. I was scared, and I held it for many years. I dealt with people, they would laugh at me, they would say things. It's a bit bullying. I would call that bullying. And there's certain people who did bully me, who I called out recently. I said, you know what, I'm not going to put up with bullying. You're right, it happened. I apologize. I take onus.
That's right.
But, it's unfortunate that it happened. But, anybody who's copied in an exam is in the same situation as me. So
You've made your peace. You acknowledged it.
I made my peace.
Yeah.
I made my peace.
You apologized.
I made it a point to, go through my set again and again to make sure it doesn't happen again. And now how I write is I literally, I put down the origin of the joke. Because there is no copyright on comedy, by the way. There's no copyright.
Absolutely.
And it's impossible, because when that happened to me, I spent 19 hours with no sleep, Googling every punchline that I had written to check. It was the worst moments of my life.
And in many cases, easily that would be a defining moment to end a career.
Yeah, I was going to, because I was reaching a point where if I didn't find it, I would continue looking. That no, I'm sure it's there. I'm sure this punchline has been said by some guy in Japan. I have to find it. If it's not there, so my entire mindset changed. And I realized why I did what I did, and it was just that I was scared to, that, dude, I've just got comedy, and finally people
Need traction.
people are proud of me finally. Finally, after so many years, there's something they're proud of. What do I do to keep this? And in panic mode, that happened. It happened a couple of times, not just once. And a couple of times it happened by mistake, of course. Then I started keeping a track of it. But till date, a couple of some guy online recently called out for no reason. But now I'm in a space where I've made peace with it, and I said, you know what, not doing it again. I had to go through it. I had to go through it. I would not want anybody to go through it. Anybody. But I had to go through it. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I came out of it. I'm glad I know that this is not what I'm supposed to do. That under pressure, your ethics come to the true test under pressure. A lot of young people are going through this right now. I talk about it openly because I don't know what this interview is going to do for me. Maybe it's going to backfire. Maybe I'm going to be known on a global scale now, saying, oh, this guy steals jokes. But you know what? It happened. It happened. I'm sorry, and that's it. If you want to waste your time, hounding me and bullying me on this, go ahead. I don't have time anymore.
Especially in this day and age where people, they don't have the balls to actually come and say this to you in front of you. You've got cyber warriors. And it's not a nice thing because you made a mistake, you've acknowledged it, you've apologized. Move right along.
No,
a lot of people are affected.
No, because a lot of comics were like, oh man, because what happens is, and this is how mistakes work apparently. That once you make a mistake, then you're done. I don't agree with that. In my books, if you made a mistake, I will not typecast you. Like if you've committed a crime, I'm not going to say, oh, you killed somebody? Oh, he's also a rapist, he's also a this, he's also a that. Everything you did is... No. And that's unfortunately, the society does that. That, oh, he stole one joke? Oh, then all his jokes are stolen. All his jokes. I did a joke about my dad, something like, oh, this is... No, that's my dad. My mom did have a heart attack. There was a joke about it. Here's the medical report. But I went to that also extent where I was going and proving myself to people. And then I just realized that, you know what, I'm proving things to somebody who actually doesn't care about this. It's just topical. It's just something that they want to come up with. People who know me right now, people who watch my shows, they know I come up with stuff on the spot. And I do that more because at the back of my head is like, this is the only way I will gain respect. That people will see, hey, this was not a script. There is no way he could have thought of this. It happened right now. Wow. So I had my own defense mechanism. So my improv started because of that.
And so that challenge perhaps led you to become more skilled.
Yeah. I can, not to boast, but I can make anyone laugh. I will make anyone laugh. I will not leave stage until I make you laugh.
That's your intention when you go in.
I will not get off stage until I make you laugh. Yeah, whatever it takes. You want me to, do a dance move? I'll do it.
Let me ask you, or let me share with you. Before I hit the stage as a speaker, I've got this routine ritual.
Yeah.
Most people, I don't know what they're doing, but
green M&Ms,
blue M&Ms. If I can get blue M&Ms, it would be great.
Yeah.
But it's something that I also coach a lot of CEOs, and I tell them, get yourself in the zone.
Absolutely.
Whatever works for you. So for one of my clients, they listen to Coldplay. Another one is Justin Bieber. Another client has her son's picture on the mobile phone, and before she goes on stage, she looks at her son, and it just brings her joy. She heads to stage. For me, it's rap music.
Oh,
so I listen to Young Jeezy or I listen to Fort Minor. I just need 30 seconds of it. And where I can, I'll actually play it on the whole room. What many don't realize is it's not for them. It's actually for me. So when I'm in the stage, like when I hit the stage, I'm in the zone. What are some of your rituals that you do?
Okay, so I have very stupid rituals, but...
it's not stupid if it works.
Yeah, it works. It works. Silly. Stupid is the way. So I, for the longest time, so I iron my own shirt, even though laundry is paid for, always. Most of the hotels I go to. But I spend my time ironing, and many years later, I realized that I'm actually ironing my set.
Nice.
Because there is something that hits the spot when you have a nice white shirt, and it just goes through that visual. It's very therapeutic to see that, and I've been sort of doing it otherwise as well, because that visual is quite nice. I recommend people try it, just to see
if it works for you.
just to see creases disappear. If you consider that as life, you consider that as the situation you're in, which is bad, and you just visually see it becoming like, hey, oh, that's all I have to do. I just need to
Iron it out.
just go in the right direction and put some pressure, and it looks brand new. So I do that. And then for the longest time I used to meditate, which is a very weird meditation. So I go on YouTube, and there's a 1 hour thing with audience applause, cheering concert. So I used to close my eyes and just be there. I'm on stage. I used to visualize myself on stage, and audience is cheering, and I used to sort of do that. And I have one Red Bull before every show.
Okay.
I have one biryani before every show. I check in. So these are a couple of things that I used to do. Go there, get there a bit early if I can. Which now I've stopped actually. Now I've stopped because being a bit OCD and dealing with a bit of anxiety, that was working against me.
Were you setting up the chairs?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Literally.
Yeah. So I haven't. So now I do it out of respect for the other person, because I was like, this is your job. I respect you enough to let you do your job, and I'm not going to be there saying, "Oh, you're doing a shit job." Even if you do a shit job, I'll tell you after the show. I won't tell you before. So yeah, these are just a couple of things that I do. Another thing that I was telling my fellow comics to do, just the new ones, is that I make it a point to always write a joke backstage.
Okay.
Before I go on and make it work. I'll write one joke on the spot. So whether it's walking into the thing and I've seen somebody, or I've seen the sponsor's name, I've seen the venue, I've seen that the air conditioning is weirdly placed, or there's something.
Just to write about it.
But it has to happen then, and it goes on stage. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not work at all. But I do it. Because I think that is my rush.
Okay. What about after a show? There are some people that go into hiding, some people go and communicate.
Yes.
What's your style?
So I do not leave the venue. So if I do corporate gigs, I sit through the teardown of the stage.
Interesting.
I have to leave it there, whatever I felt. Whether it's a good show or a bad show. I sit quietly, I find a corner, and when the stage is going down.
Long after everyone's left?
Sometimes long after, sometimes when they start winding up really early.
Okay.
If there's a party going, you don't see me hanging around too much. But I just, like the visual of a lifeless stage reminds me that you are the life. You are what brightens up the stage. Don't forget that. Don't think that that thing owns you. You know what I mean? Like don't. You're bigger.
You're empowering yourself.
Yeah. Like you just need to understand that. This is great. Had a great time. Leave it there. Leave it. Leave whatever you felt. The adulation, the applause, the dissatisfaction, the disapproval. Leave it there. It's not yours to take. You're not carrying the right bags to take all of that back. So that's one of the things that I do. I've stopped. I do meet a lot of people, but I always tell them I need half an hour after the show, because I'm buzzing. I'm really buzzing after the show.
So you just want to calm down.
I just want to calm down and just be quiet. Working on that.
It takes a lot of energy when you perform.
Yeah.
I know, having spent, sometimes I do a 45-minute gig and I'm exhausted, like it feels like I've done a marathon.
Yeah.
I've done 3 events in one day. You've done 4 events in one day. My question is, how do you, especially for a person who's giving, because I believe that you're not in the business of tagging laughter, you're giving laughters, right? Yeah. So you're giving so much, you're giving everything you have, you're giving your energy. How does Nitinn Miranni re-energize himself?
Luckily for me, I think I figured out that the more I'm on stage, I'm able to sort of re-energize myself. But right now, it's just literally going home back to my wife and just telling her about my day, and just having a chat with her about stuff. That's just sharing. I share a lot with her now. She's actually my best friend, so I tell her everything. I tell her things which she might not appreciate me telling her, but I just still tell her, and she does the same now. So I think it's a very healthy thing, alhamdulillah, that we have, where we are able to
be a sounding board for each other.
Just be people before husband wife.
Interesting.
Before spouses, we are people. The relationship, it comes after. It's by chance we're husband wife, but guess what? We're just two people.
On a human level.
On a human level. So because there's a lot of pressure that comes with being a husband or being a wife.
That's right.
That the things you cannot say or do or not.
You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to. You can't show. Like as a husband, I can't show my wife that I'm weak. She's gonna think, oh, I've married a weak husband. What kind of man is this? That's all your shit.
Whereas when you're on a human level.
On a human level.
It's okay.
You just go like, hey bro, you okay? Yeah, I'm good bro. You okay? How's your day? I was fucked up. This guy spoke like that to me, man. Oh, this guy was flirting with me. Or this girl. Like I tell her, this girl was flirting with me. She doesn't need to know. But I tell her. I tell that to a friend, right? So why do I, as a husband, I'd be like, why I cannot tell her, my wife, she'll get offended. Which is weird how, I don't know who's put this in our heads, but we're people first. But guess what? We're also husband and wife. But we're two people first, in love with each other, who respect each other. So if she respects me and I respect her, then there's no problem at all.
And you have that comfort of being able to communicate openly, with no judgment.
You have to rehearse communication with your loved one so you can do it outside. So if you have a loved one, you're very lucky who listens. So if you have a loved one who listens, you're very lucky. So exploit it. Because then you will be able to do it outside. Because today you will listen, tomorrow you will talk. There's a very beautiful sher in Hindi. I'll try to explain it to you.
Say it in Hindi.
Okay. So शेर is कि जिंदगी में हमने यूं ही कभी कभी अपने दिल को बहलाया है. Okay, I'll say the whole thing. जिंदगी में हमने यूं ही कभी कभी अपने दिल को बहलाया है. जो बातें खुद ना समझ पाए उन्हें औरों को समझाया है. So what it means is, like in life, we've once in a while we've done so many things to make ourselves happy, make our heart feel happy, and we've also made people explain things that we cannot understand. We're giving advice that we cannot take. We actually sorted somebody else out of the situation, but in our own same situation we are like, I'm lost. So that's a very beautiful transaction that happens. That you don't help yourself all the time. Why not you help somebody else helps you. It's pretty much as simple as that.
That's beautiful, man. How do you protect your mind? Especially when there's negativity, especially when you've got cyber, warriors. Especially just when a natural human's thought, most of the time we have negative thoughts anyway. How do you do that? Like, how do you protect your mind?
Knowing your weakness is your biggest strength. I cannot handle trolls. I don't bother. I don't bother. This guy just said something back to me a couple of days back. He went back to the old thing, and he's doing this to everybody. Just blocked him. I was so proud of myself. Because a couple of years back, I would be like, let me see what he's saying. It's quicksand.
You'd engage.
Don't engage. Your inquisitiveness is going to be your downfall. Because that's what it is. It's literally a shit storm. Like, it's a pool of shit.
Don't open a can of worms.
And then they're going like, hey, come on in for a dip. And then you go in and like, let me just check how shitty the shit is. No,
it's pretty shit.
It's shit. I can't handle it. I have no shame in saying I'm a very vulnerable man. I have no shame. I'm proud of the fact that I'm a very vulnerable individual. You know, smallest things make me feel emotional, make me feel sad. You know, I'm not your typical macho man.
But by exposing your vulnerability,
That's who I
it's
am.
make you stronger.
Yeah, take it or leave it. I don't know if it's making me stronger, but it's making me sleep better.
You feel relaxed.
Yeah, this is who I am.
You've laid it on the table.
I can't deal with it. Khalas. I'd love to.
I can't.
I can't.
Yeah.
What's the problem? Why do you gotta go in there and hurt yourself?
Yeah.
It's right there. You can't do it. If everybody could do everything, then this world would be a different place.
Many of us would not be needed.
Exactly. You just need one person then in the entire world. So it's absolutely okay to know your limits, not your limitations, because you know that's something you create on your own.
Yes.
You know, but knowing your limit emotionally, working on it, yes. Tomorrow I'm still working on it. I can't keep blocking everybody all my life, but I'll work on it. That someday this person will come to me at a show and say, "Hey, so I heard you did this. Yeah, how does it feel? Steal Joe." I know this dialogue will happen. I'll deal with it when it comes. You know what I mean? I'm not going to indulge and see, okay, let me see what else he has to say. No. If somebody has to abuse me, he's going to say, "You're a effing."
Yeah.
Why do I have to wait after effing? It's already caused damage. So whether he calls me a dog, cat, bastard, whatever, why do I have to wait? You know what I mean? People wait to see, oh, he said effing. What is he going to say after that? The damage is done. He said effing. It's going to get worse. You know, somebody says, like, I don't mean to offend you, is going to offend you.
Right after that, absolutely.
Right after. So why do you want to say, let me see how much will he offend me?
What about feedback?
Feedback is
Do you
amazing.
ask for feedback?
Oh yeah. Always. Always. At the same time, I believe in feedback.
Okay.
I don't question it. So, hey, how's the show? Good? Okay, cool, man. I'm glad you had a good time. Couple of years back, how's the show? Good? Really? Was it good? What's your favorite part? Did you like that? Did you really like that part?
That came from self-doubt?
Yeah. Did you really like that part that I did? Oh, I mean, it's not my best. It's okay. I mean, you know, it's not. Yeah, but did you like that? Really?
Interesting.
Really? Hey, if you like that, you know, you should hear my other stuff. It's way funnier. What are you doing? I used to tell myself later, I'm like, oh, you just
Why?
you just made somebody unfriend you. You made him, you know, regret complimenting you. You know, he's like, dude, like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry you did a good job. Like, what are you trying to do? So we used to do that a lot. And we were speaking in the workshop.
Take the compliment.
Just take it, man.
Yeah.
Take it. Take it. And there's one thing I want to tell people, you know, a lot of people now I've been dealing with, is the fact that they feel guilty about taking.
Okay.
They feel very guilty. These are the people, unfortunately, like, hey, you know, I don't want to be a bother. You know, I don't want to trouble, I don't want to intrude, I don't want to.
They don't ask for help, maybe.
No, I don't. So the message I want to give, you know, to all these individuals is take. Take. It's for you.
It's okay to ask.
It's absolutely okay. If you feel guilty, give 5 times more. But take. Balance it out. Balance it out. You know. So if you feel bad about, you know, taking help,
Give help.
Take help and then help 20 people.
Well said, yes.
You know, but do not take. Because it's a circle. It's a circle.
Because the reality is, you look up to Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
there are probably many other individuals
Yeah.
whom you've learned your craft
Yeah,
from.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Every single person who's doing well today is standing on the shoulder of giants that have gone to the path.
It's legacy, bro.
Yeah.
It doesn't belong to anybody. It's legacy. You know, today we're having this conversation. We're going to look back at this conversation with a different perspective.
100%.
You know, we're going to probably be like, hey, that wasn't me. Now this is me. Oh, so that's what I meant. So it's amazing to sort of, you know, understand that. I remember, you know, somebody interviewed me many years back. There was the whole spiel started. Oh, you're a comedian. There was a silent war about who's the king of UAE comedy and all that. And yeah, I indulged in it for some time, but I was like, luckily for me, I realized it's like, nah, man, you know, it's not paying me. I mean, well, yeah, you're going to call me the king of UAE, but where's the money? I can't go to the landlord and say, hey, here's a note which says I'm the king of comedy for this month. He needs money for rent. So luckily that worked in my favor. But so they did ask me that also, you know, there's a fight about being the pioneer of, you know, and I'm not a pioneer of UAE comedy. I want to clarify that. I was lucky enough to be there when the movement happened, and I did it for my selfish reasons. There was no comedy happening. I wanted to perform, so I accidentally created a scene.
Yes.
I just wanted a stage, you know. I was like, so let me just make it, you know.
Because I remember the times when you were studying.
Yeah, very few.
To be an Indian or an
Very
Asian comedian.
Yeah, very few.
Very few. I mean, in America.
Yeah. So I don't want to.
UK,
Yeah, I don't want to sound like, oh, this guy is done. No, I haven't. It's simple. I just wanted stage time, and so I created my own stage. And then luckily, everybody.
It was a time where everyone.
Everybody jumped on, and you know that's my whole thing. I always produce shows. I bring in artists together because that's what.
Together, everyone fuels the fire.
You have to, you know, give a legacy. So they said, oh, you're a pioneer and all that, and I told them, I said, I'm not interested in being the first one, but I want to be the last comic standing. That's my legacy. And I want to be around, you know, and producing shows and doing stuff. Because I got here because of other people. Straight up. I know how talented I am. I know. Not that much. I know. And I'm blessed. But if I stick to this, I'm not going to grow. So it has to go back. I need to empty. If I want more, I need to empty what's there.
You got to channel it through.
Absolutely.
You believe in manifestation.
Oh yeah, a prime example of it, man. A prime example. I told you, I showed you a manifestation.
Yes.
I showed you. It's shocking.
You manifested to perform in New York.
And I think, and it's still there. You know what? I'll send you the photograph. I'll send you the date of it.
And you ended up performing right across the road.
Opposite. I performed in Caroline's on Broadway. Thanks to a very dear friend of mine, Vidhur Kapoor. Beautiful, beautiful individual, amazing soul from New York. He let me stay at his house as well, very generous. And we did a show at Caroline's on Broadway as part of a lineup. And I remember one of my most amazing moments of my life where, you know, I walk out after the show and I'm on Times Square. And I was like, oh. And people were telling me, hey man, you're really funny, can we get a photo with you and all that? And I was like, yeah, I was all taking all this in. And then I just look across the street and there's a theater. And literally,
I manifested that.
my stomach fell down. And I quickly, and I had to check myself. So I go back. I stood on Times Square for at least 20 minutes. I stood, just scrolling down, looking for it. It was the exact same theater.
That's amazing.
That I had done a manifestation, and I said Nitinn Miranni live. It was right there. And that's one thing that I want to, you know, now say to people that I've been, without knowing manifestation and all that. I think it came from a place of hope when I really just wanted to do well and be accepted. I physicalize my manifestation. I draw. On Adobe, I make a poster.
Nice.
I'll make an effort to make a poster and add things on it, put locations, put dates. I do that. And that's one thing, because you know what's happening, this whole idea of manifestation, everybody's again manifesting really fast. They're not spending time on what the manifestation is. So I make it a point to sort of design. I design my manifestation. If I have to do a show with Shah Rukh, I'm not going to put Shah Rukh Khan and me. I'm going to put like date, time, show starts 9 p.m.
Specifics, like
you have
you deepen your senses.
And I want to push this through, because if you don't have time to manifest and put effort in your manifestation, then you're going to get it as vague as possible.
That's right.
You know,
I want to be successful.
I want a car. Okay, you'll get a car. Here's a car. Not this one. How would I know? I want a red Ferrari. You know, and I'm going to put an Iron Man thing
Emblem on it. Yeah.
Emblem on it. The seats are going to be brown. Okay, and I'm gonna have this special thing which is gonna keep. I'm gonna keep a small Ganesh there. I know what I'm gonna put in the trunk. I know what it's gonna smell like. What's it gonna smell like? You need to get there. You need to get there, and because things are going fast, the whole idea of manifestation is like also again. So
This requires you to slow down.
I really like if you open my laptop right now, there's so many concepts. There's so many like you would go like, hey, is this confirmed? Like it has ticket prices and a website to buy tickets from. It's in.
Wow, you really go deep.
It's in 2020, and I mean, why not? It's your dream. Why would you not go deep in your dream? It's yours. It's yours. Just nobody will judge you. Nobody will say, "Hey, how dare you dream big, man?" Nobody's gonna say, oh, "How dare you make this miracle happen?" But that's up to you. It's a beautiful story. Probably after the interview, I'll show you that visual. That's crazy.
Please do.
And I've done this. I mean, I was telling Aarti that I've done a show with Shah Rukh. I mean, I've literally put his and my face together. Just randomly, I took his photo of the internet, I put my face. And when I perform with Shah Rukh, there's an exact same photo of us on stage.
That's buzzy.
Look at that. So it makes you believe. I don't know what it makes you believe, but it gives you faith. That don't give up, man. Don't give up. Don't let a few cruel people in the world, break your spirit.
Or tough situations or challenges.
Yeah, don't let it break your spirit. Just try your best to just be genuinely and do this, man. These are nice things you can do to yourself.
Make you feel good.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
When was the last time you did something for the first time?
Wow. The last time I did something for the first time. That's weird. I started eating vegetarian food.
Okay.
Yeah, and enjoying it. Like genuinely, not because my wife is staring at me while I'm having it. She's vegetarian. But yeah, I'm trying enjoying it. I'm like, hey, this is not bad.
Very good.
Yeah.
How do you deal with discomfort?
How do I deal with discomfort? I address it. I address it. Discomfort will become more uncomfortable if left alone. So you address it. You don't have to sort of deal with it right away, but once you address it, it sort of takes the load off a little bit. Like that question right now, it was quite uncomfortable. So I addressed it.
You did address it.
Yeah.
You have a persona when you're on stage. We see you as Nitinn Miranni, the comedian, the funny guy, at a level of energy and so forth. How's Nitinn off stage?
Very happy now.
Very happy now.
No. Very happy. Very content. Very charged. Because I realized that now it's time to give back. So now the guy off stage also has a life.
Interesting.
Has a life. Now there is now the person is Nitinn Miranni is a comedian now, not the other way around before. Right. Hey, he's a comedian. He's Nitinn Miranni. It's flipped now.
Oh, that's good.
The person is before the passion.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. 500 years from now,
Wow.
it will read,
I'm gonna be vegan.
Nitinn Miranni was
Nitinn Miranni.
your great-great-grandkids.
Useful.
Nice.
That's the word.
That's nice. And you don't have kids at the moment, but when you have kids, if that's part of the plan,
It's
and
gonna
that's
be
the...
the greatest achievement. I'm dying to be a dad.
Is that right?
I think I'm going to be so proud of myself.
If you could teach your kids...
Do you know it's my dream to be a dad? It's weird. For the
Man,
longest time,
that is exactly like my brother.
yeah. You know, my aim, I could even say this, my aim is to be a dad. I don't know, I just, like, it gives me goosebumps right now also. I know, man, something's gonna, oh my God.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's speechless. I know that I'm gonna hold my baby. I'll have a clear motive in life. I'll have a clear path.
With your kids.
Yeah. I'll be like, now I know I'm here.
And if you were to teach them one trait to help them in life,
Yeah.
what would you want to teach them? If you could teach them one thing, either one discipline or one skill in life or a trade, something that could be the only thing you teach them to help them the most in life.
Fearless. Be fearless. Yeah. Fear is not good. Fear is not real. Fear, if you spell fear, it's false evidence appearing real.
That's right.
So, fear is not good.
So to have the courage to face it.
Be fearless. Don't worry. We got you. Everybody's got you. It's beautiful how everybody's got you. So don't fear. And like I said, you'll reach a point where now the more personal you get, the more generic it is. You're gonna think like, oh, this situation is, man, you don't know what I'm going through, man. I'm the only guy in the world and while you talk about it, you share. There's 5 people in the audience going like, yeah, that was last Tuesday. How the hell do you know, man? Oh, the Egyptian guy going like, oh, my mom says the same thing, but in Egyptian. So it's the feelings have no gender. Feelings don't understand. Emotions don't understand that, oh, this guy's a CEO, this guy is a manager. Feelings don't know these things.
Yeah. And just when you think you're really important, you really need to realize that you're not that important after all.
And who wants to be, man?
I gained so much insight.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm glad we had this chat, and
I really appreciate
always
it.
a big fan of you as well. All the time, I'm very, very always like impressed with your dedication.
Man, you're kind. I'm a stubborn bugger. I'm just a stubborn bugger.
Man,
I'm slow, but I'm stubborn.
Go for it.
This is the stage, just before we say goodbye, is what would you like the viewers or the listeners to do? We're going to put your links.
Yeah.
What socials can they follow you on? What are you active on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm active more on Insta. They can follow me as you like, or actually just follow somebody who will help you. Follow the right people. Don't follow accounts that just make you feel bad. Keep a control on your inquisitive nature. I think that's the devil. Like, oh, let me see what they're doing. Oh, let me see what they're doing. It's fine. It's not even real. It's not even real. They're just, to make it look so real, it's so unreal. Like if you see the way people click photos and the way click photos of the food and stuff,
Yes.
and it's amazing. Like I do it myself, and then while I'm doing, I'm like, what am I doing? So it's just, you need to understand that it's part of life. This is not the world we live in. Social world is not the real world.
Yes.
So follow me, don't follow me, just make sure you're useful, help somebody whenever you can, if you can. You don't force yourself to help people. Let it come organically. Don't feel the pressure. Don't feel the pressure to be a nice guy, be a nice girl, be a nice individual. Don't feel the pressure. Be you. Find out who you are.
Oh man. Listen, I really don't know what to say except for I got so much out of this, and I consider Nitinn a friend, even though I don't spend much time with him, and I'd really love to.
That's very confusing. Consider a friend. We're friends, man.
We are. I got so much out of this, but what I really would like to share is do follow him, because you will get value, even if his value puts a smile on your face and changes your state, which he does far more than that. And watch this video again or listen to this, because I guarantee you, I'm going to do it, you will get so much more the second time around. The whole idea of this show is not to show off, not to brag, especially when a man like this has plenty that he could do. The aim of this show was to help you get inspired, get informed, and get going. And I really hope that we were able to do so. If you have any questions, ask them. We will try our best to answer them. If I can't answer it, or if I can't get Nitinn to answer it, we'll bring another guest and they can answer it for you from their perspective. But I hope we did you well with this show. Please watch it, or please listen to it again. My name is Kevin Abdulrahman. This is How Do They Do It? Bro, my man, I really appreciate it.
We're hugging each other on the sofa. Just cut that. Because that's not how did they do it. No, we didn't do it. Thank you.
Yeah, when you put it like that,
Yeah.
I just clicked. Might want to keep that in actually, that's funny.
Oh yeah.
You got plenty of shoes, bro.
I'm a sneakerhead, bro.
You are a sneaker,
Yeah.
okay.
If your soul's happy, your soul's happy.
Yeah.
That's a good
Straight
one.
up.